I retired 2 years ago, last month, June 3rd, 2023. And I spent the last year of my work quoting that date pretty much every day in almost every administrator meeting we had. They would ask me something and my response would be 6/2/23. That was my last day. And it's that time of year now where a lot of educators are either going back to work or have already gone back to work. And I see people posting about things that they've got going and meetings they have to go to and trainings to attend and getting their classroom set up. And a lot of them are friends of mine from across the country. And it just reminded me why I am so gosh darn thankful that I'm retired. And in this video, I want to give you 15 reasons why I wake up every single day thankful that I am not going to work. And the very first one is, it's a no-brainer, but it's the fact that I don't have to set an alarm. Now, my body wakes up. I'm usually up by 4 o'clock, sometimes 4:30. But I don't have to get up and worry about, okay, I got to get a shower, I got to get breakfast, I got to have a little coffee, I got to get dressed, I got to get in a car, I got to drive an hour and a half to get to work. None of that matters anymore. I get up, I take my time, I sit and drink coffee on the couch, I go to Panera and drink coffee later, I come back home and drink some more coffee. And I am having a blast not doing one thing in the morning. And, educators have a very different job than most people. And one of the things that I am eternally grateful for is that I don't have to stress over lesson plans or classroom activities or planning faculty meetings that nobody wants to go to, including the people who are giving them, like me. All of that minutia of the job is over. I don't have to worry about entertaining 25 kids for an hour or entertaining, 100 teachers for an hour. None of that bothers me anymore. I can just go about my day and let everybody else handle that stress. And I don't have to deal with classroom interruptions, announcements coming in the middle of my lessons, or all the kinds of schedule changes that happen. We have a special meeting today, so we're leaving early, or we've got a visitor coming, so we're going to cancel this class, or I don't have to worry about any of that. None of that kind of stuff that interrupts the flow of what I went to school for doesn't happen anymore. Or should I say, none of that happens anymore. Let's try to make sure I keep with my English background. And probably one of the most important for me is that I don't have to deal with the ever-changing rules and regulations handed down from the federal government or the state government or the district board of directors or my principal. Every year, it's a new year. Every year, there are new changes. Every year, you've got to rethink what you're doing to make sure that you're not violating this or messing with that. And it is just, you go into education hoping you can just teach. And the ability to just teach has been gone for a long, long time. And because I'm now retired, I can truly enjoy weekends, vacations, the summer. I'm not in the middle of something thinking about what I have to do to get ready for the next stage. I'm not sitting in a cafe in Rome in the middle of June worrying about the fact that I have to go back to work again and go back to the grindstone of everything. I don't have to worry about taking my vacations at the same time every other school in the country is taking their vacation. I can go where I want, when I want, and beat the crowds. That's huge. And I don't have to worry about school safety drills anymore. I don't have to worry about dealing with fire drills where we have to walk everybody out of the building and they have a set amount of days every year we have to do that, and we have to do it at different times of the day, and we have to make sure that no fights break out in the hallway. Man, I don't have to worry about active shooter trainings anymore, and I don't have to worry about lockdowns, hard lockdowns, soft lockdowns. None of that stress of the job grips me anymore. Man, oh man, I cannot tell you how much better I am because of that. And probably most importantly for me as an introvert and living alone is that I determine the schedule of my day. I am not at the beck and call of my principal. I'm not being summoned to a classroom. I'm not having to go to a training I don't want to go to. I don't have to do anything anymore that I don't want to do. And trust me, by the time it was over, after 23 years, there was a lot of that crap I just didn't want to do anymore. Let's just be honest. And I don't have to worry about report cards going out or state mandated testing taking place. Two of the most stressful things that happen during a school year. All of the phone calls you get from parents telling you that this teacher mistreated my little Johnny, or they gave a grade that my little Susie didn't deserve, and you have to do something about it. And I don't have to have the entire week disrupted by state-mandated testing where every class gets canceled and every teacher gets displaced and nobody's allowed to be online or on their phones, and you worry about whether you're going to lose your license or not. Honest to God, hand up truth. And thank God there is no more cafeteria duty or bus duty or early morning duty or hallway duty between classes. I don't have to spend my time worrying about who's going to start the next fight, or who's going to get caught vaping in the bathroom, or who's going to get stopped with marijuana or some other drug and get suspended for the rest of the year. Those kinds of things, I cannot tell you how grateful I am that I'm not in the middle of that anymore. And parent conferences and difficult conversations with parents and teachers and students. I mean, I have been cussed out by more parents than I care to remember. I've had phones slammed down on me in the middle of conversations. I've had students threaten to meet me after school. I've had some jump up and cuss me out in the middle of a disciplinary meeting. These kinds of things are not the things you think about when you sign up to be an educator. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am that they are things that I no longer have to deal with. And then you're just free of feeling exhausted all the time. Exhausted. Always being on, making sure that you have a smile on your face when you meet kids in the morning, even though you don't feel like there's anything to smile about. Making sure that you're nice to parents, even when they're not nice to you. You know, just this constant pressure to just pretend like everything is fine. And sometimes it's just not fine. And now when things aren't fine, I just sit on my couch and watch YouTube for 5 hours, and I'm okay. I can just not worry about it anymore. And professional development days, district-wide learning days, all of these things that nobody needs, nobody wants. Doing the same video training every single year watching the same videos, taking the same tests, wasting 3 hours of your time, going to meetings that have absolutely nothing to do with your job, simply because the state said you have to, or the federal government has put in a new mandate and you have to. Now listen, this is probably the one thing that just thinking about it can make me angry all over again. So I probably need to move on. And I've already mentioned, I can plan vacations anytime I want. It doesn't have to be the middle of March or the middle of October or the summer months. I can miss those days if that's what I want to do. Now, when I take a trip with my family, those are the dates I'm using because my grandkids are free. But other than that, if I want to go to the beach in January, or if I want to go to Scotland in June, or wherever I want to go, whenever I want to go, if I've got enough points or can find a cheap enough airline ticket, I can be out the door. And I can be out the door at a moment's notice. I don't have to plan my vacations 10 months in advance anymore, even though I sometimes do. I could plan a vacation in 2 days and not worry about a thing. That's wonderful. Getting to probably a more positive note, I can look back on my 23 years, 13 of which I was a high school administrator. And I can think about the times that I had a positive influence on a student's life, or the times that I had a positive influence on a teacher's life, or even a positive influence on a parent's life. I can look back at those times and feel satisfied that in the midst of all this other crap that educators have to deal with, you do have those moments that make the job totally worthwhile. But it is so much nicer to look back on it than to have to worry about whether it's coming in the future. It's done. It's over. And I can breathe a little easier because it is. And last, my time is finally my time. If I want to lay down and take a nap at 8:30 in the morning, I can do that. If I want to go to the coffee shop at 10 o'clock and work on a little bit of writing and sip some more coffee, I can do that. If I want to go for a hike at the state park at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I can do that. I see these videos from people who have retired and they don't know what to do with themselves anymore. I see videos on YouTube of people that are retired and they feel like they've lost themselves. And I am not that guy. Even now, with some of the people that I worked with, I will send them text messages or memes or pictures just to kind of twist the knife a little bit more that I'm not there anymore and I have total freedom. Retirement is a wonderful thing. If I could have retired 20 years ago, I would have. I'm just glad I didn't have to wait till I was 70. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you're retired, what are your points that you're so grateful for that you don't have to do anymore as part of the job? I look forward to reading your comments. We'll see you next time.